Welcome to We're Talking Bears.
where we bring you the latest in the Chicago Bears experience.
I'm Uncle.
Nephew,
And I'm Son.
and we're talking Bears.
Man, what's up? What a game.
What's up? What's up, Bears Nation?
What's the game?
What's going on, Uncle? What's going on, Son? Cause hey, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I've never been able to be so excited. I was talking to some of my guys after the game, and I was like, "Man, did you see the game?" They was like, "No, man. Bears. You know, everybody's down in the Bears." Like, "No, I didn't see the game. I don't watch those Bears." And I was like, "Man, you missed it, man. The Bears been doing their thing." They was like, "Didn't they lose?" And I was like, "Yeah." But that's not the point. That's not
Right,
the point, man.
right.
I've never been this excited about a loss.
Man, I was talking to a guy,
losses.
said those exact words.
Yeah,
I've
right.
never been this excited about a loss.
Right.
Never. And I'm not going to go that far, but I'm going to tell you, I'm not mad. I mean, first of all, I like it when you fight. Like, fight. Get in there and go to war. And we did. I didn't expect a lot from the defense, and they did more than I expected. They held Miami 3 times down without scoring late in the game.
Yeah.
That game could have looked like the Dallas game. They could have dropped the 50 on us.
Sheesh.
But they literally came down on our side of the field and walked away with no points 3 times. One of them was a missed field goal, but you know what? If you don't rush the kicker, he's gonna make it. Right.
Speaking of rushing the kicker, that game
Unless he's Cody Park.
would have been a win had we not had that botched punt that resulted in a Miami touchdown. So they're offense.
I hate to say this, but our boy Khalil Herbert, fantastic running back, not a good blocker. He missed that block. The guy came right through the gap. It was, I don't know what, he missed the block. He whiffed. And it cost us 7 points in a game. And you just, he's not the blocker. He's great at what he does. And he should be in the game, but he should not be in a position to make a critical block. Ever.
I mean, it's just a punt, dude. Like it really wasn't supposed to be all that.
No, but you can't have a guy that can't pick up a block. He can't block a linebacker.
He's got to learn. If he's going to be the starting running back going forward, he's got to learn how to freaking block.
Well, there's your answer. There's your answer. He's showing us all year. He may be a feature running back, but he's not the starting running back because he's not protecting Fields. He's not protecting the punter. He's just not good at it.
He's got to learn, man. He's still young. This is the same process that everybody on our team is going through. This dude has been in the league 2 years. That's not something that really running backs have to focus on a lot in college, especially at smaller schools where the competition isn't as pro style in terms of offense or defensive schemes. So running back's not always involved in the protection scheme like that. So that's something that he's got to develop at if he wants to be that starting running back.
If he wants to be, and if he, and we can't hold a position for somebody if they're not there. If he's not there, it's kind of like I really like Velus Jones, y'all know that, but I was kind of glad he wasn't out there because he's dropped a ton of stuff. He's cost us games with his drops. He can go work on a practice squad for a while till he gets it together. I have all the hope in the world that he'll get much more sure hands, spend an off season hanging out with Darnell Mooney, and see what he does, learn, do what Mooney tells you to do. Because that boy.
Is that a good or a bad sign, though, that the 3rd round pick we just spent this past year was a healthy scratch in week 9 went on a receiver deficient team?
Well, you know what? The minute we picked up Claypool, somebody was coming off. And he's worked his way down to number 6.
Yeah.
So that's on him. You got to catch the ball. You got to make the most of your opportunities. And you know what? If I'm St. Brown, I'm concerned about my job next year, because if I'm dropping mission critical passes in game situations and Poles is bringing in guys like Claypool, I'm concerned about my job.
I mean, I think everybody kind of knew that most of this receiver room was a stopgap. Dante Pettis, EQ, you know, all the guys below that, Isaiah Smith Marset or Amir Smith Marset, sorry, Isaiah Coulter, all these dudes are stopgaps. We're really gonna invest heavily, I think, in receiver in the offseason to upgrade that room. And man, he'll be lucky if he makes the team, straight up.
I think that's true too. But you know, if I'm him as a man, I've got to fix that. I'm not a rookie. I'm not a second year guy.
Can he?
I've got to fix that. I'm dropping balls. I've got to correct that. I got to spend all week, every week for the rest of this. I got to get to the last 5 or 6 games where I don't drop anything. I've got to show these guys in a game situation I can count on, because he's getting a lot of opportunity and he's caught a good amount. He can be our number 3 or number 4 if he stops dropping the ball.
I don't know about that.
No,
I don't know about that. Well, that's kind of the thing.
He could be our number 5.
Numbers aren't bad on the year.
He could be number 5, but I think N'Keal Harry is going to supplant him at least the 3rd option in the receiver room, and I think we're going to draft somebody as well. So that's pushing him down the order pretty quickly.
Yeah. I mean, but N'Keal Harry's got to come and outperform
Right now. Already got a touchdown and no drops in the last couple of games.
Yeah. So I mean, there you go. So you might be out just based on that. But
exactly.
Right. But I hear you. But he actually was doing pretty well aside from the drops. You got to quit dropping the ball.
He was doing this like, you know what? He's a real good chef. It just doesn't taste good. Oh my gosh!
What
How you gonna say the wide receiver was doing well except for the drops?
Right. I mean, as a wideout, man, that's
for the throws.
Right. That's job number 1, 2, and 3. So
yeah, I agree. All right.
I want to put that all on him though. Let's talk about that PI, because he wouldn't have been in that position if the refs hadn't been doing what they always do, which is shave points off the Bears. Now, this is Vegas. I'm not usually a tinfoil hat guy, but we had 3 different calls when Miami was struggling and floundering on offense. That PI on Eddie Jackson, where he's looking back at the ball the whole time and then incidentally runs into a guy who tried to jump over his head. And honestly,
he wasn't even, he ran into the guy. The guy jumped in front of him.
He jumped into,
literally, they're running in parallel. This guy jumps over in front of him and gets a PI call. That's below.
It was the ticky-tackest PI call I've ever seen.
But it wasn't even
they literally
the rules of PI. He's going for the ball. He has the right to run straight ahead. Mm-hmm. You don't have to turn and go around anybody.
As a corner, you have the right to try to intercept it, to compete.
You have the right to try to intercept it. You have his eyes are on the ball and he's running straight. You have the right to run straight. Like someone else can cut across your field of vision, and if you run into him, that's incidental contact, because you have the right to keep going the direction you're going. You don't have to, I got to stop and let this guy go by. That's stupid. That's not football. So there's absolutely no angle where there's PI. Yeah,
exactly. And then the same, or rather on the flip side of that coin, on that play to Chase Claypool, we throw it up. It's 3rd down, and one corner literally grabs Claypool around the waist like this, and then just falls backwards with him when he's trying to jump for the ball. So if that's not PI,
you're mistaken. I really looked up the definition and the instructions for PI. And the suplex is not considered pass interference. So if you suplex the guy, that's not pass interference.
Okay, well, I'll let Vince McMahon know.
Yeah, because this is the XFL.
Because man, that means that he's got a whole lot of guys on his roster that could be cornerbacks.
Right.
Man, tell me.
They'll probably make more money doing that. So I don't know. You should get that going.
Yeah, well, that was a pretty good suplex, though. I
think the rule is that pass interference can't be called for the Bears. The team that's playing against the Bears. That's what it looks
Claypool
like.
had already gotten one call, and I feel like that's kind of a good. It's a good indication of what's to come. I think
you're right. He did get the early one.
Yeah. So if you've got to do this to a guy 2 times a game, like eventually, like the refs can't do that again, because then the NFL will investigate them for sure.
I would hope, man, but man,
they can't do that again. The whole nation is talking about that.
Remember, the number 1 investor in the NFL is all the gambling houses. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
know they're getting, the NFL's getting paid to do this a little bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. But I mean, it's gonna be really hard to, because that calls into question the whole integrity of the game when you do that blatantly on
That's what I
TV
thought.
with
That's what I
everybody tuned in and watching, because Justin Fields has been lighting it up. And the plus side of him lighting it up like this is that calls so much media attention to Chicago games. You can't really, as Vegas, that's not a patsy. You know what I mean?
No.
Like you can't just be like, all right, well, just call a couple bad calls on the Bears. Like they usually
Shave
do.
some of these points.
Right, shave some of these points off the Bears to make sure they lose. Like you can't do that. The Steelers game last year, Justin was driving us back, and then they did it. Now this one, it's been another game this year
You
that
know what? And that's
they
messed
missed
up
the
because
obvious
last year,
PI. Washington,
it was so tough for us to score that it was probably a lot easier for them to shave the points. But now, look, we actually looking good, man.
Mm-hmm. Now when they doing that mess, you better throw them flags, because
Let's look over it. I mean, all right. So Justin, he threw 17 of 28 for 123, which that part of it, that's kind of not the best, you know, but
Kind of not the best.
it's not good, right?
I mean,
120 yards tossing.
61% completion is really nothing to scoff at. 3 touchdowns on them.
Three touchdowns, no picks is huge. That's huge.
But you realize what he's doing is he's making sure, like, he does not throw the ball into a situation where he feels like his receiver has a poor chance of catching it. He's very good at identifying what types of balls his receivers like to catch, where they like it placed, and putting it there. He's super, super good with that.
Well, I agree that when you
They just don't all got a lot of catch radius, so he ain't throwing a lot of them.
Well, and here's the game. This was his running game. You know, 15 carries, 178 yards, set a quarterback record for the regular season. Only quarterback ever to run for more. Colin Kaepernick in the playoffs for 181. That's once. The guy, he broke Michael Vick's record from 20 years ago. So
incredible.
That's just a sentence. Demo and Herbert, they were shut down in the run game. They averaged 2.6 and 3.3 a carry. So they were kind of shut down. But we had a lot of trick stuff going on. You know, we tried to give a lot of people Kmet, Claypool, and Mooney run plays. So we mixed it up a little bit. But receiving wise, you know, Mooney with 7 catches, Kmet with 5 catches and 2 touchdowns. Kmet has come alive.
Yep.
But I'm going to argue this, since N'Keal Harry and Chase Claypool have stepped up. I mean, Chase is a step up, but since with them out there, Kmet is now one-on-one.
Yep.
And he's winning his one-on-one battle. Mooney, you know, you got an all-pro corner that's trying to cover Mooney. It's not happening.
Yeah,
it's not happening. So all of a sudden, just the attention of number 10 being out there, and you know, it's changing the coverage. Also, the attention of, doggone it, Fields was running wild. And unfortunately, EQ has 0 catches. None.
Well, he had 2 targets.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So he had 0 catches. Hey, Kyler Gordon led us in tackles with 7, and Sanborn 7 tackles. Let's talk about the rookie tackling Tyreek Hill from behind. He only got an ankle, but he got him down.
Oh yeah.
You know. And Sanborn looked. He looked like the game speed was kind of getting to him, but he played a good game. I mean, he got in there and made 7 tackles. You know, he played some football. You know, and we just need more performance from the front 7. Right. You know, our back end is doing all the work, be it tackles or be it pass defenses or any type of defense. The front 7's not getting it done, man.